Hey, I'm Caleb with Moon's Woodshop, and today we're gonna make this really weird guitar. Now, before we get started on this, I want to make a disclaimer that I am not a luthier. I had no prior knowledge of building guitars before I made this. It's a really weird design. I know a lot of it is technically not correct. Bear with me, I had an idea, a concept. No Fender made something kind of like this, the Strat acoustic or something. Very Les Paul inspired because that's my favorite type of guitar, even though I don't have one. Let's check it out. I'll probably say I'm not a luthier like 100 times in this video, but let's check it out. Alright, I've got these 3/4 inch pine boards and I'm going to build up body. I need 8 boards to laminate together. I've jumped ahead on this project and I built this up yesterday. This is my top panel. Cedar's going to be my top. I don't even need 2 of these boards. So you can see how this is going to work. This is going to be sandwiched between the face and the back of the guitar. After I laminate them together, I'll clean up those edges. Don't be shy with the glue. My workbench is a mess, which is why I'm just doing this right here. She's going to want to slide on you. And more gluing. These boards are going to be the back. Now I could glue together this last big beefy panel. Kind of not very happy at the thought that I gotta make this huge panel just to literally cut like 90% of it away. And now I wait for this jumbo panel to dry. But in the meantime, I can start working on the back panel. Got my template here. I made this template. I did not make up a template on the computer at all. Kind of tried to math this out and go by eye. Les Pauls are my favorite looking type of guitar. That's what I based it off of. I know it's a really kind of basic guitar shape, but it took a really long time. I'm just going to cut out this entire inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trace along. Those thin pieces of Paduke that I cut are going to make the pick guard, and since they're cut from the same board, resawed, when I glue them together, they'll be book matched. There's really nothing else I could do on this project until I get some stuff in the mail. Okay, and that ain't going to take long to dry. Now, I did find this template on Google Images. Go ahead and glue this part to the face, but I won't be able to glue the back on or anything because I still need to add electronics. I don't know if you could see it, but I took a long time to figure out where the placement of the neck should go. And I'm going to cut out this notch. I really made sure to cut just on the inside of my line so I could sand it and make sure that I'm going to have a really good fit on that. Now that's a tight fit, but it might be too tight of a fit. It's starting to actually look like a guitar. So I made my own little sound hole label. It's pretty neat. I made up a serial number. It doesn't really mean anything and year it was made. Just making it just something fancy. I went ahead and sanded the back panel, and I could go ahead and put that sound label on there because just letting it float around the shop, I promise you I'm probably going to lose it. I was thinking since the top is a 1/4 inch thick, I could get away with just leaving it as is, but I'm just paranoid, so I'm going to go ahead and put some braces in there. So now I'm putting the tuners on here, and yes, I am using a drill. I should probably be using a screwdriver. Alright y'all, so I'm going to do what I didn't want to do. That is gluing this neck in place now. That all the time it wants to need to dry up. I'm working on attaching the bridge, and that is going to be tough. At least this is what I think you need to do. This is what I've read. You need to find the center of your bridge. You also need to know the center of your guitar neck. Those centers need to line up. Getting your bridge in the right spot is what's going to give you the right intonation and the right tone and the right sound. Otherwise, the guitar is just not going to sound right. I'm not a luthier. I've never done this before in my life. It's a high probability that I'm going to mess this up. From what I've read, the general rule of thumb seems to be that you measure the distance between the bottom of the nut, this plastic piece up here, and I think the top of your 12th fret. In this case, it's a flea's foot under 11.5. So that means I go to the bottom of my 12th fret and go to my bridge here, and the saddle slot needs to be exactly a flea's foot under 11.5. So I'm just going to cut a line in here. Just in case I bump it loose, I at least know the line so I can get it set up again. I'm actually just going to let this sit for a while. There's my clamp up, which was extremely scary. Okay, I got my electronics in. I already cut out a notch right here, and I had to route a notch in here, which I didn't like to do because that's like paper thin now, so that's terrifying. Jack input also doubles as a strap button, but I need to drill a hole for that to go into. Oh yeah. This is the pickup that sits inside of the saddle slot, and I need to drill a hole for it to come up and sit inside of there. This will come up and sit down in there like that. Once this is on, it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good boy. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So you move my camera around.
Uh-oh.
Put some spray lacquer over this, and I'm just gonna do like a whole bunch of coats. Alright, so I wanted to get the finish on here before messing with other stuff. Here is the finished guitar, and it has problems. I think it's pretty good considering I've never built a guitar and I was learning as I built it. Its intonation is off. I feel pretty confident about my bridge placement. The saddle may be a little low, I think, because it's got really high action. I think the neck angle needs to come back. And the only way I'm going to do that on this guitar is by doing a neck reset, which means I'm going to have to take those screws out and try to get that glue joint undone. So anyways, I'm sure you want to know how the hell it sounds. So this is what I mean by its intonation is off. But I got all the strings tuned. It sounds pretty nice. It doesn't sound too bad acoustically, but not that great. Now listen, if you have a good ear for this type of stuff, or if you play guitar or work on guitars, you'll hear I'm playing a G chord. Hear the ugly notes? See, there's a D chord. It's that G string. Do y'all a little ditty acoustically. Here's what it sounds like hooked up. I'll give you a clean sound. That high action even makes it a little hard to play. Here it is with a crunchy sound. Crunchier sound. But there it is, the finished product, and that's how it sounds. Anyways, it does need some work, and I've got a lot to learn about making guitars. So I actually have an update for y'all. I did do the neck reset that brought the action down a lot. I think it still is a little bit high, but not near as bad as it was. And I think I still have a little bit of intonation problems in there, but it sounds a lot better than it did. something going on. I'm not 100% sure what it is. If you liked and enjoyed this video, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel too, because I do all kinds of woodworking stuff, and I've done a few guitar repairs at this point now as well, so you want to stay tuned for those. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.